Max,
Yeah,
thank you for joining me today, man.
you're welcome. Happy to be here.
For sure. I'm happy to have you. So, yeah, getting this thing started, would you be able to give us a little bit about who you are and what you do exactly?
Yeah, so basically, what I spend most of my time doing is producing a podcast about consciousness, like behind the scenes. So I'm directing it and doing basically the marketing, thumbnails, titles, and intro edits. Yeah, and in 2 years we grew from 10K to 190K subscribers.
Awesome. And
And
what's it called?
Essentia Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a foundation that is dedicated to sharing non-dual philosophy and science that is relevant to that worldview. And the worldview we mostly propagate is analytic idealism. That is the philosophy of Bernardo Kastrup.
Never heard of that. We're going to have to dive into that a little bit. I have no idea what that is, but sorry, keep going.
It's basically an analytical way of approaching philosophy. So with the least amount of assumptions as possible.
Mm.
And basically what analytic idealism states is that when we truly look logically at this question of what is the nature of reality, we come to the conclusion that there is one big mind, there's one big consciousness, and there are these little dissociations from that field, which are incarnations, which are us.
Uh-huh.
And basically what the general consensus is in science is that everything is based in matter, like the things we learn in the school books, right?
Yep.
We're all made of particles, and we're all these biological machines that that somehow in the
Just randomly came together, just like this. just an accident.
Yeah, and that it evolved this consciousness that we have, right?
Yeah.
And basically what analytic idealism states is that consciousness is primary to matter.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what, and because this whole idea is so niche basically in the mainstream, that all is mind, and that these scientists that want to move in that direction don't have a platform to talk about it.
I see.
And we try to provide that.
That's cool. And that changes everything. I mean, when you approach reality from that foundation, that changes up literally everything. And that's definitely a tough pill, I imagine, for scientists to swallow.
Yeah, they say that scientific theory evolves one death at a time, right?
That's
that
good.
these people,
I never heard that. I like that.
that wow. These people like try to like hold on to their ideas until they die, and then the next generation comes, and then there's a place to come up with new stuff, right?
Now, what's it called again?
Essentia Foundation.
And what's the theory?
Analytic idealism.
Analytic idealism. I like that.
Yeah.
So what's funny is I didn't know anything about that. I have never heard those two words put together before.
That's crazy.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The truth. So I like to say, and I say this all the time, so I apologize for anybody listening, the truth is one and the wise call it by many names. So right there is just another example of it. This is the truth that the yogis have been talking about for thousands of years, that consciousness is primary. You're just using different terminology, but the truth is one.
Yeah.
It's all the same, you know? That's cool.
Love that.
So, okay, how did you get started seeing this way? You know, how did you start to see that consciousness is primary?
yeah, it was a psychedelic experience.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. So yeah, this period. Like I've been doing psychedelics now for about 6 or 7 years, and like in the beginning, I started really slow with the legal psychedelics that are here legal in Holland.
Truffles.
Yeah, the truffles.
Yeah.
And yeah, with having a little bit of experience with that, I started taking acid, and yeah, slowly in the beginning, I tried to increase my dosage to see where stuff would start happening, right? And like in the beginning, that's really exciting, right? Oh yeah, let's do more and more and see where as we say in Holland, it's schipstrand, where the ship like hits the bottom. So looking for the edge. And yeah, my girlfriend, my ex girlfriend, she put this video on of Alan Watts, which was talking about you are the fabric and structure of existence itself, right?
While you were tripping.
While I was tripping.
Yeah.
And it suddenly clicked, and I was really like under the assumption that like fundamental nature of reality is particles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly you feel this realization that you are one, that we are all one. And like I was just sitting on the floor, like laughing like so hard, and sitting and bumping my head against the wall, like what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
Your girlfriend was probably a little concerned.
Yeah. Well, she was like, okay, damn, you like, I was manic.
Yeah. But it was like, joy, right? It was ecstasy.
It was joy, it was ecstasy, it was bliss. It was I've never felt anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like this huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. And I would say that was the weight of separation, right?
Yeah, the weight of separation.
Yeah. Like if you're separate and you believe that, then you believe that when you die, everything becomes black.
Yeah.
Right. And that, yeah, that like death is the scariest thing that could happen to you. Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That comes from the materialistic perspective.
Yeah.
If we're born because of material and then our material vanishes, then we vanish. But if it's from this vantage point that we're speaking on, then there's no such thing. That's ludicrous. It doesn't even make any sense. Right?
Exactly.
Like, it's obvious that death is a fallacy and it doesn't like exist. Essentially, it doesn't exist because we are it.
Yeah.
We are it. And we can't be anything but it. So that's the thing, is it's obvious. Like once you see it, right? It's like once you see it, it's obvious. It's like, oh, of course. Like what the heck? It's just like, how did I not see this before? Hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, it's this remembering they talk about, right? It's not, yeah. So that was like that with that psychedelic experience, like everything opened, and then of course, and then you feel like you have access to all the knowledge in the universe, right? So I was like ranting about like, oh my god, this is how it works, and oh my god, we don't really die, and you know?
Yeah.
And then like the psychedelics started to wear off, like
and come back to reality,
and then my ego started creeping back, right?
Yeah.
So like basically the last I would say 6 years have been like really trying to integrate this worldview, right? And actually, a few years after that, I started with Essentia Foundation, where they kind of make this logical chain from like, hey, materialism, like the idea that everything is physical and that is the fundamentals. Actually, that makes less sense than this worldview. Look at this logical chain, and to get the ego right, because the ego needs to understand everything, to get the ego on board, and that has been really helpful.
Now, what would you say the integration looks like? What does it mean to actually bring this insight into our daily lives?
For me, this really was really zooming in on every fear you have, basically. Like, I feel like almost all fears are based from this world belief that you are separate, right?
Yeah.
So when I got fearful, or when I like, and there's so many things to fear. I always smoked a joint, laid on my bed, and like really get into that fear, asking it questions. Like I used cannabis to amplify that fear, so that I could identify it more. And really starting to hunt in your own body, like any inconsistency or like not that you feel, and really start to hunt, like you're a fucking spearman, like where the fuck are you hiding, right?
That's that shadow work right there.
That is really like wherever it's hiding, like opening it up and really getting after that and staring it in the face.
And then seeing that it's just a mirage, right? See, it's just an illusion.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And the first step is seeing what you saw during the psychedelic experience, but it's like you still got work to do. The second step is embodying that insight and that understanding, that realization into our daily life. And that's the tricky part. That's the hard part.
It takes so long.
Yeah. Well, I'm still on it. We're still doing it. We're doing it right now. This is part of my integration. It's coming on here and chopping it up with people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like just before this show, I was a little bit in my ego again, right? I was like, yeah, I'm nervous, and this is my first podcast. But then,
this is a practice, right?
Yeah,
you start to see this is part of the practice of almost like dismantling the ego in some way. That's how I see it. Like I come on here and be vulnerable. That's kind of my practice. It's like I'm vulnerable and open. And there's something very powerful about that, right? Because it's like, I don't know what it is, because I'm still doing it. I'm figuring it out as I go. Maybe I'll figure it out in reflection in like 5-10 years. But it's been extremely helpful to dismantling the ego coming on here, which people might think it's counterintuitive, because it's like, well, you have a YouTube channel named after yourself. Isn't that all ego? No, it's not really, because it's like, if you think about it like that, that's ego. I'm just doing it just to come on here and have a good time.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's very hard to explain. But when you get into creator mode, come on here and be vulnerable with people, it does something to you that is aligned with growth, really.
Yeah, it's actually funny that you talk about that, because like I've been thinking about starting a second channel. I have one channel that really focused on like bringing out essential lessons that I had from my own experience. But I had a trip recently that like after going really high and trying to up the dosage, I started to kind of lower the dose to see how far I could get with at least as possible to eventually have that sober, right? Tuning into the all.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a really low dose, like maybe 1 grams of dried mushrooms. Like it's not totally nothing, but like it's not that much.
Still something though.
It's still something, but it's not like the recommended 3, right? Or is the 3 a hero? Like it was only
no, 5 grams is a hero. 3-5, I would say, is a decent dose. Like
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure how much it exactly was. It was like 2 or 3 small dried mushrooms. And I was dabbling with this with ego death for a while now. And like I was dipping my toes in the water of like melting away in this void, right? In this blackness, in this warm nothingness, basically.
Warm darkness.
Yeah. And like 3 weeks ago, I finally did it on that small dose. And I went through this weird like the mushroom said, if you want to go there, then you have to let go of all attachments, right? You have to let go of all your hopes, all your dreams, all your connections that are here. Are you sure, right? Do you want that now? And I was like, fuck it. I've been doing this for a while now. Now I feel like it's time. So I said goodbye, right? I let loose of the attachments and I melted away. And when I came back, like here sober life, I lost all motivation to do anything. So with my previous channel, it was really about like that was my purpose. That was the thing that I wanted to do. This would give me a free life, and I would help people at the same time. This was it, right? I could learn with Essentia to market content and get all the YouTube stuff going, and like it was clear. Now I realized that now my ego was severely diminished also in sober life, basically, that I was doing it for the wrong reasons.
Are you sure?
I think so.
No, I mean the mushroom.
Oh,
I'm saying the mushroom. That's what they asked you.
Yeah. Exactly. And like now I feel like I'm slowly coming back, right? My passion, or like, but then from a real spot of like, I'm just stepping away and observing what Max wants to do, kind of, and then following during my day, kind of like, okay, I guess I want to go here, and like a little bit, a little bit like that. But I'd been like 3 weeks laying on my bed, like staring at the ceiling and like eating shitty food and like not going to the gym, and like I just lost all all stories. Like, oh man, you did that previous channel for recognition and like validation and for this idea that you're gonna build an audience and then like gonna drop a course and like be free.
Endless stories.
Yeah, and these all lost their power. So I was aware of that, and so I went into this existential like, I don't want to do anything with detachment, I would say. So it was less bad as it sounds. But
now we're here.
now we're here, and like yeah. So a long story. I don't know.
I get it.
Why
it's always darkest before the dawn, man. I think that's the dark side of the psychedelic experience and ego death per se, is that it can take you into this point of what's the point? A point of what's the point? And I think from that is only great potential, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to swallow that pill that like you were living a lie. Essentially, that's probably what you've been dealing with. Like, fuck, I've been living a lie. But that's the
and
first
I
step.
thought I was
to
so
living in
aware.
Yeah, but at least you recognize it, right? That's the first step, is recognizing that you've been living a lie, so that you can live in your truth. And yeah, maybe this is the first part of it, you know, coming on here and chopping it up with me. As we said before, this is part of the integration. Just coming on here with other people that know what it's like to go through some dark stuff through mushroom trips or anything, really. You don't have to use mushrooms or psychedelics. You can keep meditation, whatever it is, going into yourself, recognizing the endless lies and stories that we've told ourselves. Because we all have similar stories and similar lies. That's the thing. We're all living in the same world. So it's good to relate in that way, you know? I think a lot of people listening could probably relate to you in that way. I can relate to you in that way. But I could say it's always darkest before the dawn. And the darkness is kind of what holds the light, you know? So I would say keep going. But yeah. Do you have anything to say? Because I was going to ask you a question. Were you going to say something?
I think there was a friend of me said that when you went through this darkness, you kind of and I'm not sure about this, but thought it was really interesting. Like she said, like it's easy to become a little nihilistic because once you've been there and you see that, like, yeah, there is this huge duality. Like, yes, there is all this beauty and like this world and existence, but there's also this extreme emptiness and darkness. And she said it's as if the universe was so dissatisfied with this void that it kind of and then like got everything in existence, and yet I want to create some beauty because just this nothingness is just not it for me.
And I know what you're saying.
Like this dissatisfaction that on the truest of true, that deepest of the deep, like the universe is dissatisfied with itself. That's also I don't know if you have a different perspective on this, but that was like something like, okay, like nothing, like from that perspective, nothing matters, kind of.
Yeah. That's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So I like to say there's a fine line between nihilism and liberation. And they both come from nothing matters. But it's like, what do you do with that? Do you just sit on the couch all day, eat Cheetos, and just, oh, nothing matters? Or do you say, nothing matters. Here we go. I can do whatever I want. Nothing to lose. So it's really like whatever you want. From that vantage point, I like to say is the good news. But it's all on how you look at it.
Yeah, in this state of just laying in your bed and eating Cheetos, like after after I experienced that, like I think I forgot what it was. Let's see.
Well, I would say, riffing off that point, you probably found out, like, you know, from a sort of, we can call it depression. I don't know if you want to call it that, but from that state of depression, it's like premature death, and it's pointless itself. It's like you're adding on to the pointlessness. So it's like you might as well carpe diem, right? You might as well live while you're here, even though it is pointless. It's like, as you said, the God, I say God, but you said the universe wanted to experience something. It was like this moment. It was almost like an orgasm.
Yeah.
We're in a giant orgasm of God. I never put it that way before, but it's kind of like that. This is just a giant orgasm of God that we're in. And it's like, the point is, even though it's pointless, there is point to be found in the pointlessness still, right? It's like the basis is pointlessness, where we have the freedom to sit on the couch, watch Netflix all day, eat Cheetos if we want. But what we recognize, like, in that freedom is actually like, why would you? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to live life in that way. If we do want to experience the orgasm for all that it is, then you experience life, however you want, really. Actually, that's what it comes down to, is like, we all have our own desires. So it's like you want to experience whatever your body's desires are. And I don't think there's any other way. That's the thing too. Like, from this emptiness, from the potential energy of the emptiness comes a lot of kinetic energy. Like, because a lot of people would think that once you do find out that nothing matters per se, absolute emptiness, this just overall meditative mindset, one would think you just go retire to a cave and meditate all day. But it's actually quite the contrary, I find. It gives me more gumption in my actions, like more volition to do things aligned with truth, aligned with what I truly desire. And there's no other way. Like, it has to come from the emptiness, because then if it doesn't, you're doing it for some egotistical result, right? Some kind of condition. And then from those conditions, you're not going to be able to build what you truly desire. That's the irony. That's the trick. Yeah.
Damn. Like, that was indeed the point I wanted to make. Like, I was in that state, like, laying on my bed. I was just waiting. I was waiting until I was waiting until my body said, like it is as if, like, the ego is so loud, right? It is like when you're living in the story, it is like all you hear. And then I feel like, looking back now, there is this little time that you kind of need to, like, lay in silence before you can hear the little tiny voice.
Yeah.
Or just follow what your body wants to do, kind of. And for me, it's not there is this human design thing, right? I don't know if it was related to human design, but there are these different ways people generally get downloads or something. That some people get ideas, primarily, right? We can get everything, but, like, some people get ideas in their brain, and some people just get urges to do something.
I see.
I feel like I'm really on that urge perspective, because, like, sometimes I just get the urge to do something, get the urge to shoot you a text, right? Or
right.
Like,
and here we are.
It's just, I try to now step back a little and just follow what my body feels the urge to do.
Yeah, exactly. I call that intuition. I mean, you can call it an urge for sure.
Yeah.
But that is my intuition. It's like these very subtle signals that you have to follow, that the body wants, which are attached to maybe desire. I don't know if desire is the right word, but it is attached to something in the body, sending you a signal to do something in the game, in the simulation.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to be still enough to be able to listen to it or not. I feel that 100%.
How do you reconcile that with like the Buddhist teaching that, like, every desire is, like, the basis for suffering? Like, if we now talk about, we're following the urges, we're following the desires. I personally don't feel like. Do you feel like that will create suffering for us, like, following this
That's
voice?
a deep question. That's a very deep question. And I like to say the worst desire of all is the one to have no desire. You can't fake it. We have karma to reap. You know, this is a multi-lifetime thing. So you sort of have to play it out, play out your karma. in some way, play out the desire in some way. And there's nothing that you can do about it, right? Like we have these deep imprints called samskaras where you have to work with them or not. If you work against them, then you're just creating more samskaras in some way. And I asked that to a monk one time, literally that exact question. And he said, well, it's better to have virtuous desires than unvirtuous desires. Like we all have desires and wants and needs, like, you know, experience. As we said, God wanted to experience something. The void wanted to experience this life. And I think the integration is aligning with more virtuous desires of the body, almost like turning the desires on themselves, right? Turning our imprints on themselves. So ultimately, yes, we do reach a point of desirelessness, but you can't fake that. You know what I'm getting at here? It's like,
could you expand on this karma? Because I'm more from the scientific or like logical reason point. I'm not sure what karma.
Another big one. It's okay. Karma is a multi-lifetime. Karma is the reason why we're here. So we could say karma is the grand desire of God to experience itself other than itself, right? And that's like that's desire itself is, well, no, we can say karma is the repercussion of desire itself for God to experience something other than itself. So each of us in our individual incarnations have unique imprints of karma, unique imprints of what God wanted to experience. And from that, we have unique, essentially lessons and trials and tribulations and challenges that we have to go through. So karma is almost like our individual curriculum, right? That we have to go through. It's all from the same school, right? It's the same school. It's all the same, you could say, graduate program, but we all have different classes. So the different class, it's almost like karma is the overarching thing, but then we have like sub karma, right? It's a deep topic, man. I mean, you could go on and on about karma, but it only makes sense in the idea of reincarnation. So if you're just like looking at it from, I only have had this one life, then karma doesn't make any sense, because it's like, well, what's the karma of some child that had cancer at 6? Right? That doesn't make any, why do I not have that? It doesn't make any sense from one life point of view. But if you put it into the perspective of Eastern philosophy, where karma is something that you kind of build over time, that we all have built over time, that we reap over time, then it makes a lot of sense. But like I said, man, putting it in like a short format here, it's very hard to explain. And I'm also not saying that I fully understand it either. So I might have butchered the explanation of karma. That's just my understanding of how it is.
Yeah, that's interesting, because that's also the thing about free will, right? This seems real, right? I can move my hand and this seems that I'm doing this. But then there is this argument, like, who decides who I fall in love with? Who decides that I like chocolate ice cream?
Exactly.
Why like, and in that sense, like, you don't decide what you like. You don't decide who you fall in love with. If you would decide who you fall in love with, then you would just choose to fall in love with the person that is available. This is directly from Bernardo Kastrup. So he says, like, there is like, is there like, maybe that this is free will, but the actual desires that we feel, and that's why I brought this up, because you said this karma, all these imprints, all these desires that you experience as a human here, like, that is kind of not free, right? So we are,
I don't know, it's like, this is such a deep thing, you know, predetermination versus free will. That's a debate that will go on till the end of time. I think it's a combination of the both, and it's hard to just get to a concrete, this is free will, this is predetermination. But if let's take a step back and go, like, it's all from the non-dual consciousness, the one consciousness. right? That is the truth of all truths that we already outlined. So from that vantage point, does it make more sense that it's all free will or that it's all predetermined?
Well, if everything is like it could be that there are like in this physical reality there are the laws of physics, right? These are pretty predetermined, you could say. If I just throw a ball, you can calculate what will happen.
Exactly. I know what you mean.
But then if everything would adhere to those rules, then we would have this mechanistic view of science, that everything, like what I'm saying right now, I couldn't be saying anything else because my neuronal structure was in this specific orientation, and this input is exactly what this would give this output. And this couldn't be happening in any other way.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think this is also like self-evident. So there's probably this a part of reality that behaves according to like pre-written principles and laws and predetermination and rules. But then it kind of maybe interacts with entities who have at least a limited degree of like being able to throw a ball or not.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, it's like a video game. There's rules to the video game, but you can still control the character in the game, essentially. So, it's like if we had complete free will, if it was 100%, so let's go back to that. If it was 100% free will, that would mean I could force levitate my cup right here. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like that. And if it was 100% predetermined, then that doesn't sit right. That would contradict the idea that it's all the one consciousness. Like if it was all just the mechanistic materialistic view, like that doesn't make any sense, like you explained before. So it has to be a blend. And that's the thing. I think the truth is stranger than fiction, and the truth is a lot more complex than this is like this and this is how it is. Right? It's layered, it's multi-layered. That's the beauty and magnificence of the reality that we're in. Is truly we're never gonna figure it out. Right? The mystery. But that's the good news, right? That's the good news. And that's the fun of this whole thing, is that we're in this giant mystery, this magical thing that you couldn't even try to conceive of. But it's multi-layered. There's magic to it. And it's just a miracle, really, when you come down to it. It's miraculous that we're in this, and it's miraculous that we'll never figure it out. Imagine if we could be like, yeah, this is it. This is the answer.
Yeah.
Got it all figured out right here.
That's boring.
No, I think we came here. So part of our grand overarching desire, and maybe you have you can attest to this, our grand overarching desire is to experience limitation. It is to experience faultiness, right? There's something about, this is just my point of view, there's something about the faultiness of the human condition that is actually extremely sacred, which is funny. The mundaneness, right? The sort of futility of the human condition, to me, is sacred. There's something, I don't know how to put it. There's something about our suffering that is sacred, right? There's something about being imperfect beings that is very sacred. Like, I think we incarnated to be human beings, to be imperfect. Because when we were God, when we were the one, we were perfect. And I think perfect was a little boring, right? Even, like, just think about perfection now. We don't like perfection. We like imperfect beings. Like, think of the icons that we love, like people that we love. We love a part of them that is, like, imperfect. We don't, like, when somebody's too perfect, when somebody's too put together, we're like, something's up with them. What's up with that? Right? So we like a little bit of rascalness. That's Alan Watts.
What do you mean with perfect and imperfect? Like what is this what is this faultiness? What is this?
Yeah. Okay. This is, again, we're going deep, man. So just think about when you, just the cosmic humor of our lives here as human beings, like when we make mistakes, the shit that happens, the funny moments in our life where it's just like, you thought you had it all figured out and you don't. I'm trying to think of a for instance, but I don't know, just the fact that we get like, we get like stomach aches, we get explosive diarrhea, things like that. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the imperfection, the animalistic nature, the part of us that, the almost like you could say sinful part of us, the animalistic part of us, the part of us that is like, not quite holy, you could say, the part of us that dies, the part of us that gets injured, the imperfections of this whole thing is actually the perfection. That's the thing. So yeah, does that make sense? Do you know what I'm getting at here? Like the part of us that is faulty, like, you can recognize that the body is amazing. It is a temple, but it's faulty. It doesn't always wire itself right. I mean, not wire itself right, but it doesn't always run itself right. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because like normally I would I would have some question marks with like being faulty or perfect because it's a value judgment, right? But like perfect, like it almost feels like perfection isn't something we want as a one.
Right?
Because that's what we try to escape by being here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like non-dynamical or something. Because like if everything would be, they said like I don't know where I heard this, but if you're just one and you're connected all the time, and there was no incarnation whatsoever. You're just before the Big Bang or whatever. Then you can't look at yourself. Because you're one. You can form a different perspective. You can't actually. You don't have a mirror. You don't have anything to see your magnificent glory of, and then you don't have any. There are no dynamics. There is no forgetting and remembering. It's just like I always know, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it feels like this is why we're like what we're doing here. Like I totally got into this idea of everything is physical, and then bam, I have this psychedelic awakening, and then holy shit. Like how more cool is that than like I've always known.
That's the miracle. That's part of it, right? Is the forgetting. I always go on that quandary with people. I'm like, would it be such a miracle realizing the magnificence of the one, the dream of God that we seem to be in, if we didn't forget in the first place, right? Like, would the dream of life be so miraculous, be so just awe-inspiring if we always knew? There's something about losing yourself that makes finding yourself even greater. Right?
Definitely. I think, it
brings up the story. Otherwise, there's no point. Otherwise, it's like, what are we doing here? And this brings up the story of Alan Watts. This is one that I always think about. He said, picture now. You probably know this. Anyone listening probably knows this. He said, picture now that you are God. You can do whatever you want. It's God mode in a video game. You can live whatever life you want to live, whatever fantasy you want to have. Just like this, it can be accomplished. Well, eventually, that would get old, right? Having unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities granted right here, right now for you. It's like, oh, well, okay, I can do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything at that point. If you're not triumphing, there's no challenge, right? He said, if you were a God, it would get old, and you would be sitting right here, right now, in this very moment, in the incarnation that you're in, listening to me talk. That's what you would be doing, living the life that you're living right now. And that hit me. That was one of the Alan Watts talks that hit me, that sort of allowed me to transcend and see really what's going on here. Is that, as you said, we don't want perfection, because perfection, unlimited potential, whatever you want to call it, living in God mode.
Instant manifestation.
Boring. Yeah,
right?
instant manifestation is boring.
It has something a kind of an analog with if you would constantly chase absolute pleasure, right, in this physical world, if you would constantly do substances and like not psychedelic but like that make you like peak pleasure, sex, like whatever, then your brain will start to balance, right? The brain will start to like reorganize, that your normal baseline will be here, and if you are not engaging in that behavior, you will just feel like life is grayer than gray, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it seems like there are these also even these physical mechanisms that if you're chasing for perfection all of the time, chasing for this highest high of all highs, then even then nature's separation or like physical mechanisms will kick in to like to bring back this neutrality in a sense, or this baseline will just stay higher, and you will just have to take all these substances all the time to just be normal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. It's like a representation of that absolute law that Alan Watts described in a physical sense in our brain. Like if you're chasing the perfect state here, it's gonna even you out as well, because that's not the truth. And I think you described this neutrality. I think neutrality is the truth, like a point of unconditional living. Like if I get what I want, that's cool. If I don't get what I want, that's also cool. And I think that's what comes along with the integration is ultimate neutrality to whatever happens here. And it's not numbness. It's not nihilism like we spoke before. It's another fine line. It's neutrality. And from
peace.
That neutrality and peace, exactly, comes peace and comes true joy. And there's no other way. That's the middle way. As the Buddha described, it's neutrality. In all of this is to be in the world and not of it, essentially.
Oh, that is a very good quote.
That's Jesus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To be of the world, to be
in the world,
not of it. Oh, damn! Yeah. Like not chase stories, but just be.
Yeah, like you're still in it. You're still in the matrix, but you're not of the matrix.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's crazy.
And then you can start to edit the matrix, become Neo.
Mm-hmm. What have you edited so far?
I probably have edited things in ways that I don't even imagine. I mean, the things that I can see is like, obviously the comments on my YouTube, people liking my videos and yada yada, the conversations that I'm having. But who knows what the heck I'm doing on the ethereal level, on the energetic level, right? Who knows? I have no idea, but I'm not doing it for that reason. That's the important thing. Because if I was doing it for that reason, then it would be counterintuitive. Then I would be approaching it with conditions and I wouldn't be able to do it at the extent that I'm doing it. And I think we touched upon that in the first place.
Yes.
in the first 10 minutes, we touched upon that. It's like you can't do it for any sort of reason other than just doing it. So I don't even think about that. Like that question that you just asked, obviously it enters my mind. But if I was to ruminate on that, like day and night, like, am I affecting people? Are people going to watch me? The endless stories, then I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing in the first place. So that's the key. And that's part of the integration is like, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Right. I look at my work as an offering. So that's the highest thing that I can give. And I think that's to all sages and saints is they're here as an offering. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you want to take it, you can. If you don't want to, no strings attached. That's how I feel. No strings attached to this whole thing.
I love that. I love that so much. That is exactly what I was where I got lost in this YouTube story. right?
It's tough.
I needed to help people because I knew stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I needed to say that so other people would wake up, right?
Of course,
Like,
yeah.
but this is like, yes, I see that from a deep place, this like the intention is like, yeah, I want to shake you, right? But that is full of attachment and full of distortion and illusion too, because if you're one day just not feeling it for some reason, God or the universe, it might be sending you some signals to read a book or whatever, to talk to someone, to like, but then you're just like trying to be locked in, like, no, I need to produce my video,
Yeah.
and then you start like misaligning and feeling that
then you can't produce your video.
and then I can't fucking and then I was like in my head, like, why the fuck can't you work? Why the fuck can't you just work?
Yeah. It's tough, man. I'm not saying it's easy, like that wavelength, and I definitely lose myself. I'm not perfect. Definitely. I'm just gonna disclaimer. I'm not perfect. I lose myself. I got a big ego for sure. But I don't know, with enough time and enough enough time and enough work, enough practice put in, it's easier to resonate on that wavelength of unconditionality in our work and our creations.
Yes.
You know, it just gets easier with time to just live on that wavelength.
Yeah.
And it really just comes down to like, make sure you have fun. I know that sounds cliche and corny, but make sure whatever you're doing is just for the fun of it and nothing else. I mean, you can do it for other things. Like I said, the clout, the money, the comments, people thinking you're cool, that comes along the way. But if that's the primary reason, you're already lost. The primary reason for me is I come on here and have fun with people, plain and simple. All the other things are secondary. So that's what I would echo to you and echo to anybody listening. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't have to be a podcast. That's for sure. That's 100% for sure. It could be anything. Music, books, driving race cars. Just do it for fun, enjoyment. That's why I think we incarnated here in the first place. Actually, contrary to popular belief, we're supposed to enjoy this experience. So if you're doing it for any other reason other than that, good luck. It's not going to work. You have to be here. And just like I said this actually in my previous talk, you lose yourself to the role. Whatever role you're playing here, because we're characters in some kind of play, obviously, you lose yourself to the role. Kind of like, what is that called when an actor is just like so much in their role, they don't even leave it when they're on the stage. Damn, why can't I think of that? They're you know what I'm getting at here? Like, they're an actor, and they, even after they're done with the shot, they're still in their character. I'm gonna look that up real quick because that's gonna bug me. Let's ask ChatGPT. I might have to take a quick intermission here.
That's fine.
I'm just literally gonna ask it what I asked you. What is it called when an actor doesn't leave their role after the shot? I think
that is what Jim Carrey did, right?
Yeah, it's called method acting. So when it's pretty much like you become a method actor, I think, and that's the only way that you can create purely, is you lose yourself to the role that you play. And it's tricky because then you could, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. like losing yourself to the role, as in being totally present and enveloped with what you're doing in each and every moment, and not trying to think about a vision and then execute on that based on strategy.
Well, I would say that's a good summary, but that's also going to come into play. So this is the thing too, right? This is tricky. It's always going to be there, especially as a man, right? The masculine imperative is strategy. It is to like, all right, I got to do this and then that and then this and then that. But we can recognize both now that there is this higher intelligence that is actually primary, that comes first before the logic and the rationale and the strategy. We can come to find that before all of that, before the strategist gets involved, is God, essentially, is the higher self. that knows what's best for you. So there'll always be the monkey mind chatter and the strategist trying to like do things and dictate things. That's cool. But it almost, I like to look at it as like a second opinion. The first opinion is the intuition. That is sort of in that playful mode of just like serendipitous, going from here to there and just following those urges, as we said before. And then there is the rationale, and it's up to me to know what to listen to, or maybe not even have them combat each other, have them integrated with each other so that I can live a healthy masculine life. You know what I'm getting at here? So yeah, it's always following that higher self, as they say in the New Age community. The higher self is first, the intuition is first, and then what comes second as a second opinion is the mind, logic, rationale.
I like this idea of because there's a lot of talk about discipline in the man online media space.
Yeah, of course.
And I definitely got lost in that stay hard Goggins mindset for a while, but I think that people are thinking wrong about discipline, in the sense that discipline is doing things you don't want to do because you have this higher vision or goal for yourself. But I don't think it is actually what that is. I think discipline is rigorously following what you want to do, and like cutting through all the illusions through that. Like, I think if you're like, yeah, you have this ego vision, and then you rigorously act on that vision, despite you not feeling whatever, right? Despite not feeling like it, then I think you're in kind of an unbalanced, unhealthy discipline. But if you have the discipline, like, I feel like I deserve to feel good, and I love myself, so I will go to the gym and take care of my body, right? Yeah. Because I deeply, thoroughly want to feel good, right? And then you don't let your ego like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. Like, that's when discipline comes in. Like, when you know deeply that you want to go to the gym, but your ego like doesn't.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. It's like being clear with what we want, because we don't really know what we want as a collective. I think most people don't really know what they want. And the ego is what dictates the wants, right? And when you do get clear with what you want, your soul, what your soul wants, if you want to say soul, the higher self wants, then yeah, you will rigorously go through whatever it takes. And it's not always the easy path, that's for sure, but it's worth it.
Yeah. And maybe even like with this Buddhism thing, right? Maybe if it's from your soul, right? And that your soul, that you really feel that you want to chase something, and that you want to build something or whatever, that is over a longer time horizon or something. That you're good with the eye?
Yeah, I got something in my eye. Can I take a quick break? I gotta put some eye drops in. 1 second. It's a little distracting.
No worries.
I have some right here, which I don't even know why. It was almost like I was prepared for it. Hold on. 1 sec.
Yeah. I'll go to the bathroom.
We're back. We're back in the mix.
Let's go.
That was much needed, though, because I had to go to the bathroom. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I just went.
Good. It's all worked out. So you guys gotta roll with the punches, man. That's what I couldn't find.
The eye particles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still in there?
I don't know. I think not. I think it's just irritated now because I was messing with it.
Okay.
I think we're good to go. Yeah, it feels better. But yeah, that's just touching upon the same point of the futility of the human condition. As I spoke before, sometimes shit just happens. You get something in your eye, you got to roll with the punches, right?
Yeah.
But it's all like, you know what I mean? That's just part of it. And that's literally what I meant, is like, that's part of the perfection. Like, you just have to roll with the punches of the stuff that happens to you, and then realize it's all for you, that it all is working out in some kind of divine orchestration, you know? Like, I've had stuff that happens to me, or in the moment, like maybe something with the eye. I'm like, oh, what? Why me? Why is this, almost like a condemnation from the universe? And then afterwards, yeah, it's like, why? Why is this? Right? And then afterwards, say, I don't know, a few days later, a few months, a few weeks, whatever it is, I go, now I see why that happened. Now it all makes sense. So in that way, it's all perfect and it's all somehow divinely orchestrated for you.
That's
cool. What we come to see.
That's so cool. Because there was this Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs actually did a ton of acid, he said. Steve Jobs quote, connecting the dots. That was super cool.
Connecting the dots?
Yeah, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards.
Oh, is that the quote?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna look it up. I thought it was a longer quote. Okay.
No.
Never mind then.
Like you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Steve Jobs is a real one. He was definitely a sage in his own right. He was into Ram Dass and the whole Eastern philosophy and minimalism, and yeah, he knew what's up. It's funny because he's a billionaire and he created the iPhone.
Yeah. Crazy.
R.I.P. Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Well, the topic and thread we were on was something along the lines. Oh yeah, go ahead. Do you remember?
I had this thing like we were on discipline and Buddhism. Like I thought about this thing like, what if this desire that Buddhism talk about that you need to kill, what if that is not this this desire that the soul with these urges and downloads and whatever, maybe they're not talking about that, but that they're talking about the desire that is created from these stories of the ego.
Yeah, probably.
Because you can't really influence these other pushes and pulls. Like we said, like that's not really free. We can't really control that. How much we meditate, no matter how much we meditate, we'll get these feelings or these intuitions. Are they saying that we should also stop listening to any intuition that we get? I think that would
Buddhist would say,
extreme.
Like a pure Buddhist. Yeah, then pure Buddhists are extreme. A pure Buddhist. Oh, I hear my tongue again. The human futility. Again,
it's perfect. It's perfectly imperfect.
Exactly. Well, a Buddhist wouldn't even say soul or intuition and get into anything like that. But like Buddhism, this is how I look at it. It's like it's the ultimate philosophy. It's the ultimate like what's the word I'm looking for? It's the ultimate like paradigm of self accountability. Like it's all up to you. So they would actually argue it's all free will. All of your karma is because of you. All of your suffering is because of you and your desires. So a Buddhist is almost to me like a free will absolutist. Like they believe in free will 100%. So they would say to that point, there is everything you can do to mitigate your desires. And it doesn't mean you can get rid of the desires that you built up over the lifetime, the lifetimes that you've lived, but you can do it right now to make it so you don't build up any more karma. And I agree with that to a certain extent. I think that actually makes sense, but you can't fake that either. Like say like, when I've had this thought, say, cause I was big into Buddhism too. And I'm like, oh, this is the truth. I get it. I get where Buddha's coming from. So there was a part of me that was like, well, why don't I just become a monk now? Why don't I just escape now? Like, what am I waiting for? But then I realized like, that's not that easy either. Like you kind of sort of, how do I put this? You can't fake being a monk either. Like you can't fake being holy. All of this karma, all of these desires do have to be reaped. You can't fake that. So it's just, I'm just echoing your point too. It's almost like there is a part of us that has desire that needs to be fulfilled. If not, then, well, you're just going to create more desires, the desire of no desire, which is the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh damn. But don't you think the Buddhists that like, okay, then baseline is like ignoring all urges, ignoring all downloads, ignoring and this karma is then this um basically the echoing of the decisions that you made in past lives that were desires of the past. And and then they come back now. But if they would ignore everything, like, wouldn't they just keep coming back forever?
Yeah, because you still have those imprints. That's how I look at desires. They're like imprints. So there's a lot of monks that, and ones that I've talked to, where they're in the Eightfold Path very ardently, very stringent in their path, and a few years later they leave because they realize, like, hey man, they still want to get laid or something like that. You know what I mean? So something like that. So yeah, you can't fake it. As I said before, like you can't fake being, like, you have these imprints. That's how I see them, is like they're imprints, and they're things that your deep down soul, you're just like your vantage point. That's sometimes what I look at as a soul, right? It's like, it's your vantage point. You can get into like the spirit body and the other bodies that yoga gets into, like they say we have other bodies and stuff like that. Yeah, you can get into that, but simple. The soul is like I'm coming from Gary, you're coming from Max, the listener is coming from the listener. That's your soul. And your vantage point wants to experience certain things from your vantage point. And I think this is just me riffing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I think that vantage point is something that goes through lifetimes. And what carries that vantage point through the lifetimes is the desires. And if you don't fulfill those desires throughout those millions and millions of lifetimes, you're going to keep coming back. And you can keep building upon it too. That's the thing, is as we build desires from previous lifetimes, those next lifetimes that we come back from, those desires, we build upon those, and it just keeps going and going, and the cycle keeps going.
Yeah.
And, what was my point? I'm trying to think. What was the original point?
That we might no worries. That we might have these curricula that we just have to do, kind of, right? That
that was the point. Is that we can't fake it. It's like those imprints. Like those imprints for our vantage point is not something you can just. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but it's not something you can just go like, all right, I'm going to become a monk, shave my head, don the robes, I'm going to go live in a cave, because they're always going to be there. They're always going to be there. And what is it? So karma is a lesson, right? As I said before. So what are these imprints for? They're there to teach you a lesson. And the only way we get the lesson is when we experience the karma, when we reap our karma. And we realize that's not what we wanted in the first place. You know what I'm getting at here? So we think we want these things. We think we want whatever the desire is. We want the threesomes. We want the donuts. We want whatever we want whatever the vantage point wants to reap. But we don't realize we don't want it until we get it. And then once we get it, we either say, I want that again, or I don't want to sow the seeds for reaping this desire in the future. So again, you can't fake it. You have to either get what you imprinted in lifetimes past, in this lifetime, and say, all right, I'm not building those patterns again, right? I'm not building up to that desire, or you do it again, and the cycle of samsara continues.
I heard this quote on the Modern Wisdom podcast from Chris Wilkinson. He said that there are some unteachable lessons, and they say that, like, no matter how many people who became rich say that money doesn't bring happiness, still everybody tries it.
Yeah, right?
Still everybody needs to go through, and then they start talking about, it doesn't make you happy. And
I think
every single one of the people who watch that, who aren't rich, say, but I'll see for myself.
Exactly. I think that's the only way we learn as human beings. You have to see for yourself. Seeing is believing. Right?
Yeah.
and you can read as many books as you want, you can listen to as many podcasts as you want, but until you really get that deep integrated lesson, that direct experience, it's not going to compute.
Yeah.
I like that. Jim Carrey has a quote just like that. That's pretty famous. He says, "I wish everybody can get rich and famous so that they can realize they don't want to get rich and famous," or something like that. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. I don't want to misquote it.
Okay.
Jim Carrey, rich and
I love
famous.
this guy.
Quote. Jim Carrey, yeah. He's the man. He's also awake.
I made a 1.5 hour movie of him on YouTube about his spiritual awakening.
I think I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw it. So I'm going to have to watch it after.
It is way too long.
That's okay. Hey, no, the longer the better. This is the quote. I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they've ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. Boom, right there. Right there. That's it. That's what we've been talking about the whole time.
Love it.
But you have to see it for yourself. That's the thing. That's part of our curriculum here is you have to experience it from your soul vantage point for yourself. You can't take somebody else's word for it. I mean, maybe you can. I'm not going to say you can or you can. I don't like, only a Sith deals in absolutes, a wise man once said.
What was it?
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. That's what Obi-Wan Kenobi said to Anakin before they started fighting. It's kind of a joke, but it is the truth. I kind of like it. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. So, yeah, maybe you can learn from some other experience if you really trust the teacher, if you really trust the guide, for sure. But I don't think it's that easy for most of us. You have to experience it. We're very naive creatures. Like, you have to go through it.
Yeah, I think if it's probably like if it's in your soul curriculum that you really want to experience to get rich, then do that, right? But there's also people that really don't like money doesn't excite me. Like the idea of having a lot of money doesn't excite me, and that there are plenty of people like that. Or seeing that it has no real value or something. Like as a kid, I was like, I want to have a big boat and whatever, and like this, I want to have all this shit.
Yeah.
But I think with this ego death thing, like maybe it kind of lost its shine already. Like I see how it would be amazingly cool to have it act as a tool to do some cool stuff, right?
Yeah,
but the shine of money, like, or the status, or I don't know, man.
It's not it. It's really not it. So this is just coming off the top of my head now. We all have our individual desires, right? Our soul desires. We come to that conclusion, and you sort of have to reap what you sowed, what you sold, reap what you sowed. And I believe, or I know actually, that we all have the same desire. That deep, deep, deep rooted desire that all the many desires come from is to actually, ironically, return to that one that we came from. And all of our desires are rooted in that. We're looking for God. You don't have to say God. We're looking for the connection in all of our desires. We're looking for that ultimate love in all of our stories, all of our narratives. And we don't, because we're naive, we don't see that it's futile and that we are already there. We're already in God. We're already connected no matter what. We don't see that until we get it, and it's fruitless, essentially.
Damn. Right? Okay.
Did I just drop a truth bomb on you?
You did, I think. Like, okay, yeah. Then my mind starts rattling, like trying to discredit it, right? Or seeing, like, is this true, right? All base desires are rooted in connection, for wanting to go back to connection. The status game is that wanting to be connected with your wanting to be recognized, wanting to be seen, right? That is probably where the root is.
Yeah.
Status is also,
we say that's like the original, like that's what the one wanted, is to experience itself. So it's like the egos, it's like a weird the dark side of that, like the ego wanting to be seen, wanting to experience itself through others, right? Status just wants love. Say, oh, I exist, look at me, I exist.
Yeah.
Hey, he exists, look at him. He's cool.
Yeah. It's so cute if you think about it like that, right? Like these little humans trying to say, hey dude, look at me,
look at me.
Also all the kids, right? Like, daddy, look at me, mommy, look at me. Right? That is like this thing that always comes back.
Yeah. But this is a fine line to tiptoe, I find, is we do actually, entering into this pureness of the one is coming back to a sense of childlike nature. It actually is becoming playful again and innocent and pure. That's the light side of kids. That's the good side of kids. It's like their purity. It's like, they're just like untainted. It's like, yeah, they're kind of God. They're little mini gods.
Yeah.
But then they also have a dark side. You know, kids can be mischievous and they have a little hints of ego in there. You know, kids can be a little rascally as well. And that's an integrated ego, is a childlike person. But an integrated ego is the other way around. Unintegrated ego is a childish person. An integrated ego is a childlike person. It's a very fine line. You know, I always say this quote too. This is from Jesus. Is like, unless you become like children, then you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. That's something I always keep in the back of my mind. Is like, you have to be childlike. You have to become like children, and that's when heaven will be granted to you. But again, it's a fine line to tiptoe. If you're trying to become childlike and that you become a brat, heaven isn't going to be yours. You're going to be in that look at me attitude, competitive and just gross, essentially. So it's becoming childlike, that pureness of the child, that will grant you the heaven that we are all endowed with.
I have a big question. It's something that I've been struggling with for a very, very, very long time, and that is experiencing gratefulness, joy, and the light side of things. I feel like whenever I'm like hunting for fear, I'm very comfortable with sadness, grief, all the negative emotions, like letting that move through me. It's very like talking to people. That's very weird because most people like discard all the negativity, but I go looking for it. But I feel like I've been in this situation where I experience everything up until neutrality. And then when it comes to like experiencing joy and happiness and the really the light side of things, like for example, last week I went wakeboarding for the first time of my life. I since I also do kiteboarding with the kite in the air, like I was pretty good at it. I could immediately go a full lap, like on the wakeboard course. I didn't feel joy with that, and that is crazy to me. Like I felt like I was trying to, and maybe that's the problem, and I know that too. that I was trying to feel the wind in my face, to like be very present and I know like, and trying to consciously detach myself from having to feel anything. But I fucking it's so hard. And right now I feel joy, like talking about this kind of stuff. And that is very interesting to me. But like,
have you always done that kind of? Have you always done that stuff, like wakeboarding and kiteboarding?
Yeah, like I've been doing it. Yeah, since a kid, I started windsurfing with a sail, and then started kiteboarding. Then I had my spiritual awakening. Didn't go out to sea or whatever. I was in my cocoon for a few years, and now I'm starting up again.
The cocoon, yeah, the metamorphosis.
Yeah. But well, what is your recipe like for like trying to like get a touch of that light side, get a touch of that beauty, right? I'm puzzled. It's very hard for me to feel it.
I know what you mean. Well, this is just, I can only speak from personal experience. And my personal experience is the things that I used to enjoy, etymology right there, the things that I used to enjoy, I don't really enjoy anymore. And that might sound like, oof, okay, then what's the point? But I think it's just because our motives change, you know, like I'm not disregarding the things I used to enjoy. It's just like we only got so much time in this incarnation. And I realized that I will only truly find joy in things of this nature, like conversations we're having and things of the Dharma. And I have to disregard things that aren't worth my time. And I think that is like, personally speaking, just like my inner intuition guiding me along the way. Because I've tried too, things that I used to enjoy. I'm trying to think of, for instance, I can't think of it right now for some reason. But there's many, like, video games. I used to be a huge gamer, right? Love video games. Now I can't get into it. I just like, there's nothing that's bringing me that joy or satisfaction or whatever it was, an escape. I tried it because I've tried it. I've tried to play video games again, and it's cool. You know, obviously it's fun lights. The graphics are really good, but it's not the same. So I think it's like once you kind of get the download, once you take the red pill, man, your body is going to give you the signals of what's important in terms of what you do with your time here. That's just my personal experience. It's like
that's really helpful.
Right? It's like I sort of have, your body will give you the signals to recalibrate how you use your body, essentially. And, and direct you using these subtle signals into things that are valuable, virtuous, and important for your incarnation.
Interesting. Then I like getting at your philosophy. I should do things like this more, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like getting fired up now, exactly. Right? Interesting.
Yeah. So whatever fires you up, and that's the thing. It's like you have to be fluid because I think there's going to be things in your life. I'm young, so I don't know. Who knows? Like but
how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay.
So from my experience of living my 31 years, my interests have changed, and they've drastically changed in terms of after this whole dharmic path. And
you keep saying Dharma. What is that? What is dharmic?
That's another big one, man.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're asking me some really big questions. You're putting me to the test today. Okay. Let me just. I'll simplify Dharma. Dharma is your way to your way, like your role that you play, your certain kind of script to write alongside your divine plan of God. Like your Dharma is what will bring you the greatest satisfaction here in this incarnation. It's the way to suitably, we could say, reap your karma so you don't build any more karma. Like your Dharma is your life plan, you could say. What you're supposed to do here. I think we all have stuff that we're supposed to do here in one way or the other. Your Dharma is what you're supposed to do here. And getting back to the point is your body will send you the signals subtly that will align you with your Dharma. You have to be in tune. If you're not in tune, then you're building more karma. It's almost like karma versus Dharma. They play into each other. But yeah, it's almost like their duality in some way. Karma versus Dharma. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much.
So yeah, building on that point, as I've gotten more on this path, more like instituted in this sort of like ritualistic way of life, a very like spiritual life, we could say, I've just lost interest in things that aren't aligned with the Dharma. And the Dharma altogether, what it means is truth or the law, right? In a Eastern philosophy sense, Dharma is like the truth. It's the Dharma. Like the Buddha came here to spread the Dharma, the truth. But we all have our own truth, our own embodiment of that truth. So it's like there's the Dharma, which can be referenced in the books and the sermons and the talks, the Dharma. But then there's Dharma, which is your Dharma that you live out. So it's a deep one, man. We could have a whole conversation on Dharma, but summing it up, it's like your life path here, your way to align with the law, the truth, or maybe God.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So unique fingerprint.
So your point, the whole story of you not enjoying windsurfing and stuff is truthfully, it's probably not aligned with your Dharma. Your soul is speaking, saying, this ain't it. Doesn't mean you can't do it here and there, obviously. Like, right? You can try and go windsurfing, but ultimately there's something telling you, some deeper part of yourself that is probably telling you, like, there's a greater purpose to Max here.
This is very interesting, like, because since this period of like lethargicness after my my trip, I've been doing a lot of firsts, like first wakeboarding, like first podcast, right? First, like you're doing great, and like I'm having a great time. So like,
Same.
fucking A. And like past like 2 days ago, I went. I had my first gig playing guitar and played 2 songs in front of a live audience, and that really fucking tapped in with that one. So it's funny to see like how life is like unfolding right now, and I like stepping back. I see that I'm doing now a lot of firsts. That is interesting. Yeah. Like you see, like kind of the operating system has changed, and I see that my actions are doing different things. And that is very interesting to notice. Like after like letting go of attachment and stories and whatever that, and then again, like this performing with the guitar gave me like, it felt like I was supposed to be there. And it was not like super scary or whatever, what I would have been like in the past.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to see this. Yeah. Like,
that's what it's all about, right? Is exploration. Yeah. We're exploring from this emptiness, this ultimate potential point, really what it's about. And that's the good news, is that cliche, the journey is the destination. We lose ourselves in the exploration. Yeah. I find that as well. I'm still exploring myself and my likes and my interests and what I find lights me up here. That's for sure. I don't have it all figured out, so I can attest to that too. But I think as we go further along the path, there's things we keep, and then there's things we just say, oh, that ain't it. Okay. So, I think like as we get older, I don't know, but this is just what my intuition says now. As we get older, there'll be things that we institute that are part of the Dharma, and through the exploration, we realize a lot of things just we don't keep, that's just part of the human experience, I think.
It's very interesting because I saw that you did over 560 episodes, I believe.
No, not 500. I'm over 300.
No? Oh, okay. No. Yeah, but okay, still a lot.
Still a lot. Yeah, we're getting there.
Like it's I think like, do you still feel the same way as you did before? Like, because it's a lot, like, I don't know how many years you like,
it's been about 4 probably, but it's only really ramped up within the last year or 2. I've been getting people like you reaching out to me, and just it's a lot easier to book episodes. I've been doing them like almost every other day. So
damn.
Yeah. So, but I know what you're asking, do I still get fired up from it? Yep. Somehow. That's the magic of it. And I think once you do truly find something, once you do truly find something that lights you up, you can do it a million times over and over and over again, and it will always be renewed. And this is just my thing. I don't know what else anybody else has going on, but I feel like it's the same resonance, that same like renewal. It's that same like, I lose myself in this moment. Like right now, as I'm speaking, like I lose myself to these conversations with people. Everyone's new. That's the thing. It's like every conversation is new. Even though we're talking about the same stuff kind of in one way or the other, it's a new person. It's a new experience. It's a new vantage point that I'm tapping into. So that's what I live for. It's like, well, we see ourselves in the same way, but you have a different way of explaining it. You have a different framework. So I want to explore what your framework is. And that's just lights me up. It never gets old. Seriously, it never gets old. So that's me. Find whatever it is in your life that you can always be renewed. You can do it 1 million times, and that 1,000,001st time will be just as special as the first time.
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing is? It's like it gets even more special. The more I do, somehow they get even better. So that's just the magic that I've found. But music is very similar to that, I feel. It's like music never gets old for me. And playing it, I got a little bit of experience in music. I got a handpan. I play guitar a little bit. You're probably a lot better than I am. But the point is, I think you're really good. I would suggest anybody listening to check out your music and your creations. You're pretty good, man. But
thanks.
Point of my story.
Yeah.
Little what's that called? Plug. Little selfless plug for you. But point of my story is, music is very attuned to that. I feel like ultimate, always renewed. Like there's always this like spark of fire, but it's different for everybody. It could be painting. It could be really, I don't think you even have to create anything. I think it's like whatever you're doing to lose yourself to, go with that. We all know what that feels like. I think the term that a lot of us can relate to is being in the zone, right? I'm in the zone. That's the same thing that we're talking about, of losing yourself. Like when you're in the zone, it's almost like you're out of the ego mind. You're out of the story. You're in the story. You are of the story at that point. And that is bliss. That is what bliss is, I think. That's what all the yogis and saints are talking about, is like you lose yourself in that, almost like another realm. And we all have our own way of going about it. But it's the same realm. It's the same zone.
I love that, man.
Yeah. What was your point, though? I know you asked me, like, I did so many episodes, and yeah, it never gets old.
Like,
so,
if it still felt like, because you said that there were like these things that you keep and you institutionalize in your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like 300 episodes is a pretty big neon sign, probably for you. And it could happen, right? That it stops, obviously.
I foresee that in the future. Yep.
I
actually foresee that, and it's good to be open to that, because let's say like you do have your music or whatever anybody does, they're painting, and then they get attached to that. Like I get attached to that I'm the podcast host, and there's a part of me, the soul, that wants to stop, but you're attached to that identity, then it's going to cause suffering. So I recognize that too. Even though I enjoy it so much, I feel so full right now, right? And, you know what I mean? Like I feel like this is it. Just chopping it up with you, I don't care. Like there's a camera in front of my face and that I'm wearing these things. Like, I feel just alive with you. But I recognize that this is also temporary. This is part of the temporary nature of reality, and that there might be a day where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not feeling it anymore. And I have to recognize that as well. But that's part of why I can enjoy it, because I'm also not attached to the fruits of what this brings.
This is so interesting, because I started posting on YouTube 10 years ago. And like for the first time after this trip, I was like, I'm not feeling it. And that was a hard pill.
Yeah.
Now it seems like I'm getting drawn back to some form of it, right? But
yeah, I mean, we're here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just might be a different form of creation, a different form of using YouTube,
There needed to be this shock or this cut of like, hey, bro, chill, go back, observe yourself again, and see where your body is taking you again.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I would say just like creation in itself is liberating. So whatever form creation takes in our Dharma, that's what it's all about. Like we're supposed to create, I think. I think all of us create in our own way, whether it is YouTube or music or paint pictures or bake cakes. We all create. And I think it's just finding out what you can create with. And it's that simple. That's the yoga in some way. It's like, how do you, because we come from the creator. How do you co-create with the creator? What is your dharmic imprint to co-create with the creator? And then just flow with that.
Yeah.
And remain fluid in the creation. But no matter what, we're creators. I think no matter what, we are endowed with this power, essentially, of creation in one way or the other. It's just like, where does it come from? What is the intention? How do you serve? And that's what makes the difference between something essentially being a good creation or not, something actually being a worthy creation or not. Because you can create from ill intention, but it's just going to be shit, essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Whom does the grail serve? That's a quote. I don't know what that's from, but whom does the grail serve? Look that up again.
Like the Holy Grail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what that's from. That's just like I think it's just one of those quotes that's like in the zeitgeist. Though. It's not in the Bible. I know that. I don't know. I've heard it before. Whom does? Oh, it might be from King Arthur. Oh, I think it is actually. Because I know.
Well, the quote sounds very King Arthur-y. The Grail.
Yeah,
right?
In Arthurian legends, the Holy Grail ultimately serves the Grail King, also known as the Fisher King, and through him his wounded kingdom. The question, whom does the Grail serve, is a pivotal one in legends, and its answer is you, my lord. That's it. That's it right there. I can't exactly find where it's from, though. I don't know. It must be one of those things that's just in our language. Probably said in one story, and it just keeps going and going. It originally, obviously, comes from the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, man.
Yeah, I made this like the only video that did really well on my channel was about Prince and how he worked a little very much with inspiration. Like he had this massive vault of like 10,000 unreleased songs.
Wow.
That never crazy. Made it to the public.
Wow. How many of those are hits? How many of those are hits?
Yeah, right? Well, yeah, exactly. Like, I see it a little bit as like he just had this stream of consciousness while playing, right? And like taping probably. And then he like every artist, like some things you do you feel are shit. Some things you feel you do are like, wow, I really love this, right?
Yep.
Think it's just a before curation, but it's like insane that he had this 10,000 songs. But what he said about inspiration was like, how did he got out so much fucking music, right? And he said like, without God or without inspiration, like this true voice, he said entropy takes place. Nothing works.
That's good.
That was like, I was like, damn.
Yeah. That's good, man. Because I find that, and I've said this plenty of times as well, so I apologize, but this wavelength that we're speaking on is the difference between momentum and entropy. Like, God is the difference between living with God, is the difference between living with momentum or living in entropy.
Ooh.
Right? And if you're living in the ego, it's entropy. Like, the world is against me, right? All this is against me against the world, right?
That's so God, good.
Yeah, it's the truth. Shout out Prince.
Damn.
Yeah.
Very cool convo, man.
Right?
Damn.
You feel it? I feel it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way. That's the only way. I mean, you don't even have to say God. Like, I have only recently started to say God within the last few years, but it's not the God that the churches on Sunday would refer to as God. It's not the God of necessarily how the priests would call God. It is this force that you either are against or with. It is the Tao, some may say. It is this something else, this other wavelength that you can live on in the human condition that will guide you along the futility of the human condition so that you do find flow. Yeah. So that there is this like sense of like you're Neo in the Matrix. You're just like, boom, you're bobbing and weaving. It's some, what is that? Is that judo or Aikido? Where you're like, it's all coming at you, but you're with it and you're using that to transmutate. Like all the energy that comes to you, you're working with it so that it works for you and through you. 100%. And there's no other way.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thanks, man. This is a good talk. This is a really good talk. I mean, we're almost on 2 hours here. Do you want to start to wrap it up? Do you have any other points that you want to touch upon? I can keep going, but if there's something else that's on your mind right now, feel free.
I would like to maybe discuss this point of objective morality. Do you believe that, like, if it like and like everybody basically disagrees that murdering someone is wrong, right? Maybe Hitler didn't, but like everybody can agree.
Yep.
But if you look at it from this emptiness and this oneness perspective, you hear a lot of people say there is no real right and wrong. It just is. And the trouble we'll start getting into that, like if you really deep down believe that there is no wrongdoing, how do you explain this visceral reaction that people get with topics as murder and like all the sins, right? Or like what everybody basically agrees on is wrong.
That's a powerful point. It's a powerful quandary.
Yeah. How do we reconcile this? How do we, because I have a idea about it. There is this idea of this, like the law of cause and effect, that in this realm, in this physical existence, there it's a different plane of reality than the oneness, right? So you should probably define that first, right? There are different rules here than when you like zoom out and be one. It seems like that there are certain rules also regarding to behavior that govern, like if if a person goes around and murdering everybody, like there will be consequences for that, right? That it will be like people will stop this person, and like this is pretty well. I think that the question is, does this go beyond culture, right? Does this, is this something that is actually baked into this physical existence or physical reality, or is this something that we just culturally taught ourselves that is wrong? And we could basically, like, then this is all like speculation, right? I'm not sure about any of this, but and this is also not my theory. This is Mark Passio, a very interesting guy, very polarizing guy, I would imagine, but it's nice to discuss. What if there are like rules of behavior that govern this piece or this slice of reality, right?
Yeah.
That he advocates for a extreme self-control. So if people start behaving immorally on a giant level in society, then there will be this force that, because nobody takes power over their own actions, there will be this backlash of other people grabbing this power that you don't have on the inside and to be controlling the population, so that not everybody starts killing everyone. Right. But like he says that there are these rules that that there is something defined as something right and something wrong, that this is objective, that in physical reality, that this is objective. And he basically summarized it as do not steal, and everything. Everything. Like,
well, that's good, man. In the Bible, if you want to reference that, there is, I forget the passage, I wish I could remember it right now, but they say the one law above all the other commandments is just love thy neighbor. If there's one thing to just remember, it's love thy neighbor as yourself. So I think that is what everything is based upon here in this simulation, is to see your neighbor as yourself. And the thing is, we have freedom. So we don't always obey that law. But nevertheless, whether we obey it or not, that is the basis of morality. Is to just, when you see your neighbor, that is actually you looking at you.
Yeah. Don't do unto others as you wouldn't want someone else to do to you, right?
Exactly. It really is that simple, but we don't follow it. But if we're talking about some kind of objective morality, it's that. It's just that
I would say so too.
Right? It's just that we haven't figured it out yet. We haven't quite put it into practice because, I don't know, we're silly.
Because people think that objective morality is there's no such thing as that, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
on a massive scale, if people like fuck each other over and like only go for money, power, and status, and like don't care what they would do to others in order to get that.
Well, okay, this is good. This is just coming through for me right now. So on an absolute massive scale, there is no objective morality. Like, do you think the black hole cares about love? That's swallowing the planets. Do you think the tiger eating the antelope cares about love? No. Like, our universe is seemingly immoralistic. There is no morals. It's just, it is materialistic in some sense. But I would argue that living in this realm of loving thy neighbor is almost like living in a different dimension. It's almost like we're building something that transcends the seemingly immoralistic universe. So like when we build with love, potentially, we haven't got there yet, but we're getting there. When we build with love, we are going into a different dimension that transcends the black hole, that transcends the sort of bleakness of the immoralistic nature of the world. There's something going on here that animals can't touch, that the solar systems can't touch. Like there's something going on between humans from this moralistic, from this objective morality that is another realm. There's something going on here. And I think that's the point of this whole thing is we're building this other realm on earth. We're building the kingdom of heaven. And it's like we're in this world, we're in the universe, but not of it when we can act from that wavelength. So the good news is it's up to us. The bad news is it's up to us.
Wow. Yeah, like there seems to be a big difference between like how nature exists like in the wild. Like there it feels like there the basic rule of like the there it's just Darwin, right? Yep. Like survival of the fittest. Survival is the highest goal, kind of. But when you start developing as a monkey for whatever reason, the capacity to empathize and to like get to this higher awareness, and then this whole different dynamic starts to play out, right?
Exactly.
You start to get this sense of like, damn, that antelope that was just killed, like that must have been, whew, we shouldn't do that. I would not want someone to do that to me, or like what, like it's this higher aware. It's basically being more conscious of what is true.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. That's it. And there's like levels to what is true. And it seems like, and there's probably levels beyond us too, obviously. Like I don't think it ends at human beings. There's got to be higher. I think we're building toward those higher realities, but the first step there is to at least recognize that we're all in this together. Think about it. A dog, maybe dogs can because they're divine beings. We'll get dogs out of the mix. A tiger or a lion, they can't understand what we're talking about right now. Not like at a literal sense, the language, but if they were to try to comprehend loving thy neighbor, they don't do that. They eat the other male lion's babies. You know, like they don't understand that. It's a different realm. So what I'm saying here is maybe this is just this is the first step into these other realms and into these higher realms that we access on psychedelics is the love thy neighbor. And it's multi-layered. There's many different realities, many different dimensions. So we transcend the third dimension by just living in love, and who knows where it goes from there. Right? And that way it's actually very simple. It's simple. Like all we have to do to evolve, which I think this is like our point in evolution, right? So we were at the whim of Darwinian evolution, which you spoke of before, at the whim of our environment to get to this point, but it only goes so far. And now it's up to us to consciously evolve. Like that's part of the evolution, is we take the evolution into our own hands and become this other being, this greater being with a conscience that is all in it together, is all one family, this one being separated by seemingly different vantage points. We're not there yet. We're getting there. We're not there yet. But I think we will get there eventually. And that is like a next step in evolution. And who knows where we go from there.
Man.
You feel me?
What it made me think about that this push for transhumanism now, man. Like they're going all the totally the other way. Right? Like trying to transcend death through uploading your consciousness. Like this is all born out of this materialist perspective.
I think that's the shadow.
If you can,
that's the shadow. So that's what so essentially what the internet and technology is doing is allowing us to connect non-locally, non-linearly, right? But we can already recognize that we are connected. We already have this inherent internet. And that's what humanity is realizing now through these conversations, through our own meditations, right? We're realizing, oh shit, we're all one mind. I think we mentioned in the beginning, we're all in the mind of God. So I think that realization, the innovation of the technology is just the shadow of the realization that is currently going on right now. It's like the dark side, right, of the internet, the inherent internet that we are all realizing.
Like Uncle Ben of Spider-Man said, right? With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. So what's happening is I think we're developing the power with not a lot of responsibility, unfortunately. And
exactly.
Who knows where this is going to end up? Hopefully we don't destroy ourselves, but we might.
Wow. If you gave a button to a monkey that could monkey is not the right because they're mainly vegetarian, but if you could give a button to a lion to kill all antelopes or something, it would just start pressing that button.
So it can have it for food.
Yeah, so it can have it for food.
But then it would kill off all of its food source, is what you're saying, and reach an imbalance. So, is that where you're getting at?
What? Why was I bringing this up? What were we talking
about? Great power
like
comes great responsibility.
Yeah, like if you're an uninvolved being, right? Then you give like this massive amount of power, like social media, like connecting with everybody, like godlike technology, right? What kind of technology we have access to, and
who knows?
Maybe the symptoms that we see today are because we're acting like lions and we've been given the button.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's what it is.
And we have to fucking evolve in order to,
so that we don't keep pressing the button.
So we don't fuck up the balance.
Yeah.
Right? What you talked about with the antelopes.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we're destroying our world.
Yeah.
We think that we can upload ourselves in
the Matrix
computer just because we're not aligned with what I think then to be the truth is that like AI is not like the whole thing of living on in a computer is based upon the assumption that consciousness arises out of some neural activation, some physical substrate, right?
Yeah.
If you experience stuff on psychedelics and you realize that we're all one, if we just assume that, then that's our assumption. Their assumption is that it's emergent, right?
Yeah.
But from our assumption, it totally looks bonkers to believe that you can like that like this simulated version of yourselves will somehow have the same experience. Like, oh
yeah, it's bonkers, that's for sure. And it's being built, so this whole leviathan of AI and technology that's being developed right before our very eyes is what you're saying, is it's being developed from a false foundation of materialism. And that's going to lead us down, not me, but it's going to lead humanity down a dark path, because with great power comes great responsibility, and nobody has any responsibility, because responsibility comes from this insight and realization. Essentially, it comes from being aligned with the Tao. And all these people, I don't know Sam Altman and anybody in the AI community, but I don't think they're aligned with God. I don't think so.
Well, it is interesting because, like with Essentia, we were trying to get the scientific, like the technologists are aligned with the science, right? Mm-hmm. And if we can get enough voices heard, like the whole idea is to change this paradigm, right? Change this paradigm of materialism that we're in, because it's
going to destroy
it's killing us.
Yeah. That's all we can do, man, is use this technology for its our best benefit. That's all we can do, is use it for the greater good, hopefully. Yeah. Don't let it use us. It's like you either let it use you or you use it. So that's what I also find. There's nothing better to live for than to hopefully spread the good word using this technology, where there's like millions and millions of people doom scrolling, wasting their day watching cat videos or dance videos on TikTok. I hope to at least help at least one or two people, if not just myself, by doing these things. That's the least that I can do. You know? So that's all we can do, man. Keep on keeping on, spreading the good word in that way, and bring a little bit of responsibility to the power that we have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I hope we reach a tipping point, but we can't control that.
No, we can't. It's always going to be quality over quantity. I think we're always with this realization. Maybe, I mean, in the future, maybe not so, but within the near future, we're going to be the outliers. We're going to be the outsiders. We're going to be the weirdos. And we just have to deal with that in some way. And
we, as in people who are in consciousness?
People who have this understanding, that have this consciousness understanding. Yeah. You're going to be the outsider, unfortunately. I mean, there's definitely, I will say this, there's definitely more and more people waking up, 100%. And that's cool. That's awesome. I like to say find the others. But the others are always going to be the minority, I think, at least in our lifetime.
Yeah?
Yeah, in our lifetime. Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah, I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but I don't think I'm going to see a day where the stuff that we're talking about now is like
mainstream
or pop culture. No, it's definitely going to get a lot more popular. I'm not going to say, it's not going to be like, you're not going to see it on CNN.
I said CNN will just stop existing.
Yeah. Who knows? Hey, I hope I'm wrong. I'll say that. I hope I'm wrong. And like, it becomes, everybody wakes up. But in my lifetime, I doubt it. We just had in Massachusetts, right, which is a state in the United States. I don't know if you know that, but in Massachusetts, we go state by state in terms of laws. The measure to legalize psychedelics, and they voted no. It was like it was to legalize DMT, psilocybin, mescaline, and there's an ibogaine, I think, which are all medicines, which are all sacraments. I'm like, oh, beautiful, making progress. This is amazing. We would have been one of the first states in the union to legalize psychedelics. Nope. Like, okay, maybe not this lifetime. Okay, we're almost there. Almost got it. So that's just one example of my sort of pessimism that I brought to that point. It's like, okay, I guess I guess we're not as awake as we thought. Not that legality of those substances really mean much.
I would say I have a I have a kind of a belief that since we're so interconnected and since that so many people are lost, seems like also the youth, man, and like with these suicide rates and with extreme polarization, I think that there might be I think there are a lot of people who like the Terence McKenna quote where he said like at some point things will start to become so weird and that we have to talk about that it's becoming so weird.
I think that's what we're in.
Like it is like it is very weird what we're in. And I think, don't you think a natural reaction is for people to start looking for answers and like what the hell is this?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I just don't think the timeline is there. I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, man.
Well, I think what would you think? You think our whole lives will be just weird?
As
or
in
what do
us?
you think? Like, yeah, as in our lifetimes, like we probably be here for 60 years, maybe 67 years. Yeah,
I'll say if it happens in my lifetime, it would be when I'm old. I like that. Sometimes I have the thought that like the irony of me doing all of this is I'll get famous after I'm dead. People will start to listen to me after I'm dead.
And they're like, oh man, he was ahead of his time, right?
Sometimes I think like that. That's the huge joke that the universe is playing on me. Like no one's going to listen until you're dead. But yeah, I think it's going to take a little while, unfortunately, just because it's like, it hasn't got weird enough.
I do, however, like a little light point for this. I saw, like, this is very interesting. Like, Diary of the CEO, you probably know it, right? Diary of the CEO, this podcast with Stephen Bartlett, like one of the biggest podcasts. He is letting people on his podcast that talk about more esoteric stuff, man. Like, like in the past 2 weeks or past month, he got Donald Hoffman on, which is a scientist that is I would say awakened, and he has the very cool ideas about the nature of reality, and he talks about a host of very interesting stuff, and also about like the one consciousness, and that is on a fucking podcast with like, he had probably something like 4 million views or something.
So the tides are turning.
Yeah, I would say, and then like 4 days ago or some sort of days ago, he got on with this woman who talked about that death is not the end, and like I haven't like fully watched that yet, but she started doing science and with deceased people, like communicating and whatever, and this is getting a place now on like a massive platform, and that is like, I see that as a very hopeful sign, because like so many powerful people and so many people listen to, like, whether it's hitting, you don't know, but it's planting a lot of seeds. That I know.
Planting seeds. I like that. Planting seeds. It's just like, what's it going to take for it to grow? I think it takes a little more than a podcast or a conversation.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
It only goes so far, right? To get that, like, that eureka moment that you get from psychedelics, it's very tough. Honestly, it's tough to get without psychedelics. It's tough to get without that, like, almost like a slap in your face. Right? If you just listen to the podcast casually, it's just another form of entertainment. You go about your day. You need that. We all need that, like, smack in the face from reality. And that's why I doubt it'll happen anytime soon. I hate to be pessimistic. Like, I'm doing this so that we can hopefully accelerate the awakening. Trust me. But just my realistic sense is like, it's not gonna work without the slap in the face, without like that just giant essence of like weirdness that you get, the swallowing the pill of the weirdness that wakes us up to reality. Enough people they just haven't saw it yet. And it's like, what's it going to take for them to see it? A lot more than few podcasts.
Oh, you're breaking up, man.
Oop. What's it going to take for them to see it? A lot more than a few podcasts. I'm not hearing you anymore. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
We're back?
The last thing I heard. Yeah, the last thing I heard was that it's going to take a whole lot more than some podcasts.
Yeah, that
was the last thing I heard. But I think I get your point. Yep.
Yeah, right? Because it takes like a very drastic happening in one's life to swallow the non-dual red pill, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe something will happen in the zeitgeist where a calamity happens in the world that wakes people up. I thought COVID was going to be that. It was for a lot of people, actually. It woke a lot of people up, but we lost a lot of people in that regard. So maybe something like that will happen to wake people up. But I think that's what's needed in order for people to get on this wavelength. It's just a giant like wake up call. Like you have to snap yourself out of the matrix, out of the dream life. And if there is no like wake up call, then you're just going to stay asleep. So that's why I kind of am a little pessimistic. But you disagree?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm hopeful.
Yeah. I do, however, had some. I went to Barcelona. There was a Science of Consciousness conference, and we interviewed a woman there who did research in extraterrestrial channelings. She did a statistical analysis of the documented CIA files and see whether they corresponded with what mediums were saying about aliens, and see if there were patterns in between those stories.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the interesting things that came out of that analysis was that there is going to be disclosure.
That could be the wake-up call.
And yeah, that could be something, right?
But could it, though? That's the thing. Like, even if we were, which I do believe in aliens, but even if we were giving this story of like the aliens are true, which were pretty much there, I still don't think that would work.
No, but like a disclosure event, as in they land and people see them, and people have to see them with talk to eyes. Them. Yeah,
because now, even if a video were to happen, be like, oh, AI, or like, I don't believe it. Oh, where's where's the special effects? I'm sorry if I sound pessimistic.
No. I think that is valid. Like seeing them with their own eyes. But if they would land in all the population centers around the world, like the New York, Washington, Amsterdam, like every big city,
that would be crazy.
Tokyo, Beijing, whatever, right? Yeah. Like this big, like that every news channel has to be talking about it because it's the biggest story of our lifetimes, right?
Yeah. That would just destroy the fabric of our whole world, though. I think that would be too much. I think the aliens know what they'd be getting themselves into if they did that. That's why they don't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to handle it. But ultimately, moral of the story is it would have to be a direct experience, just like psychedelics. It would have to be something that one sees with their own eyes in order to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. We shall see, my friend.
We shall see.
That's the glory of this whole thing. And I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's quality over quantity. I think maybe, and this is also a theory, is that like we'll reach a tipping point, a sort of critical mass where enough people will be awake, where it will affect the resonance and the energy of the earth, the morphogenetic field, the sort of one mind, where enough people get awake, where we tip over and we reach this new world in some sort of way. Just through like enough. It doesn't have to be everybody, I guess is the point of the story. It's like it's just enough where we reach the point where of no return to this other realm, to this better world, and then thus other people will follow suit. Maybe we're already there. Maybe it's like a gradual process of awakening. It's not like all of a sudden everybody wakes up tomorrow. Maybe it is this gradual process, and we're living amongst that as we speak. It's just like little by little, people get their own hints in their own life. They reap their karma in their own life to be able to see that the way that we see, you know? And maybe that's the only way that it could go about. Because if it was like, hypothetically, tomorrow everybody wakes up,
would be too big of a shock to the system.
Yeah, exactly. And the system wouldn't function. It wouldn't work. The world would crumble. Everyone would just be sitting on their couch eating Cheetos in a sort of potentially nihilistic worldview, you know, once they swallow that. So I think, I think honestly, it has to be like gradual. It has to be like this little by little, you get the message.
Yeah. Or it would be like the 60s and 70s and where they crack down and start the war on drugs, right?
Yeah, because that was very exponential, especially for the times too. Like all of a sudden people were just becoming hippies like within the span of 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
because of psychedelics, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happened too fast, and that's when they instituted the drug war, and the hippie movement got demonized, and things from that. We all know what happened in the 60s and 70s. So I think this is the only way. It has to be sort of gradual and
very slow.
When people they'll get the message when they need to get the message. It's all in divine timing.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether this timing is in 100 years or 30, we can only dream it being as quickly as possible.
Yeah. It's all going according to plan. And really, what is 100 years? What is 1,000 years in the scheme of time? It's nothing.
In our next lifetime, we'll surely live in heaven, right?
I think so. My friend. That's a beautiful note to wrap this up at.
Yeah, I would say so too. 2 hours and 14 minutes. That's crazy.
Good times. Went by like this.
Yeah.
Good talk. Yeah. But do you have anything that you want to say? Anything you want to get off your chest before we stop recording?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, you could leave the link to my stuff in your in your description, and that'll be it.
Awesome.
Good. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Max. I appreciate the really good questions that you brought. You know, very deep questions, and we went through some really inquisitive rabbit holes in this conversation. So I appreciate your presence, appreciate your wisdom, time, and effort that you brought to this conversation. And that's it. Thank you, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Peace and love to you.
You too.
Peace and love, everybody that listened this long. All right. Goodbye.